Hello everybody and welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk. And this, my friends, is The Thunder Show, aka Ray Prado, the internet's most passionate wine program. And I'm going to nerd it up on this Monday. Mott, people have been commenting, good amount of comments. I know you got some emails, some nice things coming in the mail. But what I've been seeing is a tone of emails that I'm getting, interaction on the streets when people stop me, hey Gary, they want the nerd stuff. People like the education, it's fun, this is entertaining, we enjoy each other. Clearly, there's a passionate link between the Vaynerchuks and my heart. We love each other, we're close to 700 episodes. But what I know is that we need to keep pushing the envelope of quality to make the show worthwhile for people to watch. And I think one of the ways we can do that is by continuing pushing the envelope of areas that are not as well known. And one of those areas is Santenay. Santenay is on the southern tip of the Côte de Beaune in Burgundy. 90% of the wine made in this region is Pinot Noir, but 10% is white Chardonnay. It's a Burgundy region. It's a spot that a lot of people don't know much about at all. Very underappreciated. We've never done a show on it, Mott. I mean, you know, it's still, and it's the 5th largest commune in the Côte d'Or. Only Meursault, Beaune, Savigny-le-Beaune, and Gevrey-Chambertin produce more wine than Santenay, yet I am positive that 99% of you have never had a Santenay. It's about 379 hectares, and about a third of that is Premier Cru vineyard, which we have in the white and the red here. You can see underneath the label, Premier Cru. Got it, Mott? Whereas these two are not. So we'll get into that in a minute. So we're going to taste some Burgundy today. We're going to talk a little bit more about Santenay. Santenay's wines are rustic. It's a very interesting place. It has a casino in Santenay, and so a lot of people go there for the casino. So it's kind of like Foxwoods or like Vegas, also known for wine. It's like the casino. It's more of a modern town. They redid the downtown. So it's an interesting place with wines that are very underappreciated. The red wines tend to be more like the Chassagne Montrachet red wines. So it's a very rustic, interesting style of Pinot that's underappreciated, well priced, 25 and 30 bucks for Via Bean. I mean, think about that. With the euro, think about the price points of these Pinot Noirs. So it is a pocket, if you're a Pinot Noir drinker, to expand your palate, try new wines. I'm excited about it. I'm really excited because I like the comments when we do shows like this, because people are learning. So I appreciate that, and I'm excited about trying these wines. Let's get into the comments. Please leave comments on this episode so we can read them in the future. I love reading the comments. Jack Turner says, Gary, Jack Turner, semi-lurker here. I've been watching for years since you had your sacred face, since you had your scared face on and no big intro. I really liked the show, and I really like it when you get into the wines. I've been finding myself disenchanted with a good deal of the shows recently, especially the ones with the Web 2.0 theme. Also, with the exception of your father, best guest ever, thank you, my dad would like that, your guests usually take away from the program. I would love to see you do more nerd episodes and keep producing shows on location. Jack, nerd episode. Thanks for the comments. It's good to hear the feedback, pro and con. We haven't been doing that much Web 2.0, Mott. Very little, but I understand where Jack's coming from. Jack, I agree with you. I'm getting really kind of wind up. I had a 91 Bandol last night from Tempier. I feel my own inner self getting wine nerdy again, which should bode well for the show. Tom Langen says, great, long-time Vaynerchuk. You know Tom Langen comments all the time. Gary, interesting, but frustrating. Why review wines that are not available? It would have been great to place an order for that cab right after the show. That said, I'm still a Vaynerchuk and will so remain. Tom, good point, but Wine Library TV is not to sell wine necessarily. It's to expand palates, talk about vino, for me to have a good time, for you to have a good time. Of course, you could probably go find out those wines somewhere, I assume. But, you know, I kind of like the fact that we don't always have the wines. We mix it up, and we have lots of shows where we have the wines. So I apologize. You should go find that wine. I think it's a Costco play. That's kind of it. I understand and respect that. Thank you. Primo Vino says, love the Wu-Tang reference. Cream. Good job. I love that. I love everybody who caught it. Statement of the day. I had my girlfriend with me this time to enjoy the show. She's a first-time watcher of the Thunder Show, and her statement for you is this. She appreciated the recommendation of Zin from today as a white wine drinker. Are you coming to Portland during your signing tour this year? Thanks and the best. I am coming to Portland, pals, for my book signing in October, Primo Vino. I'll see you there. I'll give you a little high five. Drew Ross, a.k.a. Vino Blue, says pros. You've been on a roll since your week off. Every show has been pretty much phenomenal. We'll look forward to your content as long as you can pump it out. Cons. As good as your chops have been, I look forward to the show every day, and the off-air days are killer for morale. Also, I think the girlfriend may be getting a little bit jealous of all the attention I'm giving you. And bring back Sir Gary V. Drew, I'll do that. And finally, Family Doc says, Gary, first show I've watched in going on a year. Wow. Doc, welcome back. Life has gotten in the way. Great show. Great to get back. What I wanted to tell you, I've had some great wine in the last year, and we bought a house yesterday. One step closer to my dream walk-in cellar. Congratulations, Doc. That is the awesome stuff. That was a fumble. That was a fumble.
That was a Brett Favre pass.
That was. Be careful. I couldn't care less. That was pretty sad. I'm very upset about that moment. I'm sure that's going to be making it into a highlight clip. All you highlight makers out there, pay attention. That was a moment. All right, let's get into the wines. First wine from Jean-Marc Vincent. 2006 Santenay Premier Cru Le Bourg-Rapère. This is a Premier Cru, $45 US. Again, remember, there's only 125 hectares of Premier Cru of the 379, 380 in all of Santenay. So, you know, about a third of the action is considered Premier Cru AOC. High quality, 45 bones. You're going to be more expensive, 45, 40 on the end caps because they are Premier Cru. In the middle, 25, 30. So you're going to save some money. Bless you, Mott. Chardonnay-based wine from Burgundy. 45 bones, pushing it. You can get Merceau, you can get Chassagne Montrachet at this price point. So I don't really expect a lot of people going out and finding Santenay Blanc and dropping a 50 spot on it. So that makes it difficult to move. But that's what the show's about, a platform talking about wines. Hopefully it's good for the Santenay Blanc producers out there. It's got nice color. Let's give it a sniffy sniff. Little burnt wood action, which I think a lot of people enjoy. There's also a kiwi play on here, which I like, and a little bit of a lemon spritz. The kiwi really comes through, but it's very overshadowed by the burnt wood and the butter. It's very oaky in its approach on the nose with a subtle tropical fruit, that kiwi play coming through. And a little bit of lemon. You know, it's funny. It almost smells like lobster because you're getting butter and lemon. And you know, that's just how I roll with lobster, Mott. But a good nose, not off balance, not as much alcohol or burnt wood. So kind of neat. I'm excited to try this. Let's give it a whirl. I should point out, Mott, let's zoom in here. One of the really great importers of all time, Kermit Lynch, brings in this wine. If you're ever in a rut in a wine store, and you're just looking for something old world and a little bit more classic, usually from France, I highly recommend looking on the back of the label. If you see the Kermit Lynch logo, of course, not all, but this gentleman really has brought in some of the more interesting wines in the world. I've always been a fan of his. I don't always agree with the wines that he brings in and loves, but he's definitely a producer, that an importer that brings in some really interesting stuff. Back to the white wine. Good acidity on this wine. Very focused. If you're an anti-creamy, buttered, over-the-top, oaky, very thick, viscous Chardonnay that much of the producers have embraced in the New World from, let's say, 1985 to 2005, then this wine is definitely something you may want to try, because this is a little bit more of the new kind of style we're seeing even from the US and other places, but has always been a trademark of the Old World and Burgundy specifically. You have much more minerality and focus on this wine. It's a little bit more balanced. I get a little heat, but not a lot. And at room temperature, we know, we've seen so many of these shows, the alcohol comes through, but here the minerality really comes through, yet you slightly get that classic little burnt wood, oak. I get baked apple on the back end of this wine, which I like quite a bit. I like the focus and the structure of this wine. This baked apple flavor is just delicious. I mean, it's very appealing, and it's a very seriously focused white wine. It's got good balance. I like the mid-palate transition where I get almost like a crushed rock flavor. And then on the finish, it's high acid. This would be tremendous. I had skate last night, which I kind of liked. I'm grilling. I'm doing a lot more grilling. I'm going to be taping some shows for my grill. I did clams on the barbecue yesterday. I'm like trying everything now. Are you a griller?
I love it.
I'm into it. I might do like a whole week of it. Anyway, I really like this wine. I like its focus. I'm going to score it 90 points. I think $45. It's pushing the envelope. I wouldn't say go out and get it. In this economy, definitely not. But if you're a baller, or if you're really looking to expand your palate and you're really interested in wine and you want to go there, I do believe this is a wine that has the ability to really open up your eyes. Santenay Blanc. I mean, you know, this is not the common thing that people are talking about. It's like being a professional lacrosse fan in the U.S. I mean, this is a niche, but it's good. This is a really nice wine. I wouldn't say it's the biggest value in the world, but it's a high quality wine. Good start, Mott, for Santenay. Let's get into this. Domaine Saint Francois. Franco Lequin is a really small producer. Santenay Vieux 2006 vintage, 25 bones. Franco Lequin runs Domaine Saint Francois, which covers 9 hectares spread out across Santenay and Chassagne-Montrachet. He produces red, 100% Pinot, and white, 100% Chardonnay. Wines are aged for 15 months in oak barrel. These wines are highly expressive and are wonderful examples of the rich heritage of the terroir. Nice little back label. I like where he's going with that. I like the price point. 25 bones for Pinot Noir from Europe with the Euro conversion is very interesting to me, and so I have enormous hope for this wine right here, because if it's good, now we're getting into something that kind of is neat, because when you can get the old world in that style to be a value, because there's so many Pinots now coming out that are 30, 40 bucks right off the bat, this could be a lot of fun, especially the style I hope that it brings to the table. Pretty cloudy, Mott. Definitely a cloudy-esque play, if you notice. Can you get a little bit of cloudiness? I like that. Bright colors. Let's give it a snippy snip. Very old world on the nose. Definitely not poopy or anything that. But definitely like very starch, like kind of like definitely a boysenberry kind of flavor on the nose. Also very I wouldn't say cream. I guess it's opening up more to be like a strawberry play, but like sour strawberries, if that makes any sense. Creaminess coming through a little bit now too. Almost like Wimbledon. You know, strawberries and cream, you know, but they're sour. Almost like somebody snuck a little pickle juice into the Wimbledon play. Let's give it a whirl. Very, very interesting. Very focused. Again, enormous minerality, which I'm going to be drawn to all the time. So if you don't like that crushed rock, bluestone kind of flavor, you're not going to like this wine, because this is loaded with it. As a matter of fact, this is an imaginary salad of crushed rock with pickle juice and then like sour real cherry juice. Sorry, I'm like spitting up. I'm so excited. You know, like if you really squeezed fresh cherries, it's such a different flavor. If you've never had real cherry juice, go out and do it. I like the tannins of this wine. There's also a really substantial play of dark shredded chocolate on the back end, with a sprinkle of like black tea. It's rustic. It's definitely not silky smooth. It's rustic, and it dries your palate, but it's very good. I like this wine. I like its intensity. I like its truth, its honesty from the vineyard. You could get a little bit of a vegetal play on this wine, a little like turnip, you know, like turnips. Like I get like a little. I really like this wine. Celery. This is not for everybody. This is almost a Pinot Noir that's made for Chinon Cabernet Franc drinkers. So Cabernet Franc fans, Pinot Noir is what I'm going to call this wine. I'm going to score it 90 plus points. I love it. This is really neat and not that fruity, jammy Pinot that I'm so accustomed to, which I like. This is different, and it's not poopy, dirty sheep butt, manure, you know, mushroom, fungi, dirt that I get from other parts of, mixed with like beautiful strawberries that I get from a lot of Pinots in traditional places in Burgundy. This is really its own animal. I like that distinction. I also, however, absolutely think that a lot of people watching the show would not like this wine because it is raw. Mott, it's pretty raw. Mott, did you hear like Donald Trump bought raw from Vince McMahon? It was like a fake thing. I like heard this whole thing. I miss wrestling. Give us a whirl.
Ooh, it's bitter.
Do you see the tannins and the darkness? Do you see why I'm going with tea and dark chocolate? It creates that kind of mouthfeel.
Yeah.
Not for you, right?
I wonder if I was eating something. Food.
No question. You've been opening up to red wines, Mott.
I've been opening up to Pinots.
You have been opening up to Pinots, huh? But this is pretty rustic.
Yeah.
And it's dry mouth, but it's not super dry.
No.
Very cool. I really like it. All right. Bruno Colin, Santenay Via Vines, Old Vines, 2005, which is a fantastic vintage in Burgundy, 30 bones. I'm excited about drinking this wine. Let's give this a little whirl. Matty T. Let's see what's going on here. Jersey action. Sniffy sniff. A little lighter in color than the last wine. A little more classic. This on the nose would definitely be like, okay, this is Pinot Burgundy. You know, it's got subtle, you know, strawberries and cherries. I get a little raspberry ting on the back end. A little leather coming through now. Little earthiness, little grain, like almost like soil, like like you know, fake grass. If you smell under fake grass, kind of thing. Let's give it a whirl. A little smoother on the attack. That initial face I gave you. I like the smoothness. I don't like this wine though. Very light. Completely disappearing. I mean, just disappearing on my mouth, which is sad. Very lightweight. Substantially lacking any kind of depth. It's got some subtle flavors. I don't mind the little radish action, which you know I love so much if you've been watching the show. I like that little play on the back end. But thin. Very thin. Very thin. You know, like Lindsay Lohan up in here. So, I'm going to give this wine a pass. I definitely don't like it in any shape or form. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat this. This is pretty bad stuff. For 30 bones, a pretty bad disgrace, considering a good producer, a very good producer in Bruno Colin, an extremely good year in 2005. I don't know how this is showing so poorly for me. Let me just give him a shot. That aftertaste even went too green for me. Disjointed, awkward, in a weird stage. Actually, like probably like a 15-year-old NBA basketball prospect who's like 6'4", 110 pounds, and who's got size like 13 shoes, and you're like, that kid is weird. He's gonna be a pro, but you know, that's how I feel about this wine. Maybe they'll come together like many of those kids do and become professional all-star athletes. But for me, this wine is very disappointing. After a pretty substantial roll, I'm going to score this wine 71 points, give it a major pass, and save your $30. Crap, if it was $3.0, I'm not sure I'd go for it. Oh, I didn't even realize this. Jean-Marc Vincent again, Santenay Premier Cru, Le Passetemps, 2006, $40 US. I did not realize we had the same producer on the bookends. That's kind of neat. Ian told Ian to grab all the Santenay. We have 4 in the store that we have. which is probably 4 more than most stores, outside the good stores out there. Okay, same producer, 06 as the white. Little zoom in, Mott. Let's see, we enjoyed the white. Let's see what happens with the red. Light color, a little sniffy sniff. Really interesting floral component this wine has that the others didn't, but by far the poopiest of the bunch. I mean, it smells like Misha did a little damage right here. If you don't know who Misha is, Misha's my 4-week-old daughter. Love you. Very poopy action. This is barnyard. This is you went to the Bronx Zoo and the tiger took a dump. So there's a lot of manure, you know, kind of, you know, Kansas farm action going on the nose. Also, around that is a little bit of a cranberry play, but really, this is an undeniable kind of earthy play. Let's give it a whirl. Good structure, really good weight. Definitely the most heavy of the wines we had today. Austere, though. Tastes a little bit like eating a rusty nail, which isn't the worst thing in the world. But it's lacking any kind of fruit. I do get tea flavors again, which I like. But all in all, lacking a little bit of the charisma that the little Francois wine had over here. Yeah, I don't love it. It's a little bit off balance again and a little bit too astringent. Just not doing it for me, though it's pretty good. So this is a different story than the Bruno Colin. It's got the weight. It's got the complexities, the subtle second-tier fruit. Just not doing it for me. Oh, a little bit of a pomegranate play on the back end, which I kind of like. You know, it's going to give it another point or two. I'm going to score this wine 86 points. It's fine, just not for $40. Maybe for 11. So I'm going to give it a major pass with 4 Z's. So the little $25 Pinot catches my attention. However, remember, I very, 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 very much believe that... go ahead with that intuition, Mod. I like that idea. I very, very, very much believe that the far majority of the people that are watching this show may not like it because it's rustic. Maybe the white wine was the best of the whole bunch. Question of the day. How'd you like this show, Matt?
It was different.
Was it nerdy?
Nerdy.
There was a focus on nerdism. I liked it. I think we talked wine. We got serious up in here. As I hold the Iron Sheik. Question of the day. I want to get nerdy. So, I want to know what wine you drank this weekend. And if you didn't drink a wine, what alcoholic beverage did you drink? And if you didn't, it's specific. Don't say vodka. Say double cross vodka. Don't say beer. You know, say Magic Hat number 9. And if you didn't have an alcoholic beverage, what beverage did you drink? Water all weekend would be fine with me as well. The Shiki likes it. You, with a little bit of me, we are changing the wine world.